few days been?
Yeah, very tough. Probably the toughest few days I've had in my professional career. It's a horrible feeling getting relegated, and as you know, football's our lives. You know, it's our livelihood. It's what we live for, and yeah, it's been a period of reflection, and obviously, you know, it's like I said, it's been a horrible feeling. But it's done now. You know, we've got to react from it. I think in life you learn from your mistakes, you learn from the negative things that happen in you, probably more than you do the positives in life. So we need to be reflective and like I said, try and learn from, you know, a lot this season.
From a player's perspective, is there any defining moments in the season when you realise you're really in trouble?
Probably not defining. I think relegation happens over a long period of time. The league table doesn't lie at the end of the season. I think you're there on merit wherever you finish. So there's probably not been one or two instances where you'd say that was the turning point, but it's just been over a period of time we've not been good enough, and clearly we haven't got the results that we'd have liked to have got. So yeah, it's just taken course over a period of time. We've not managed to turn the tide. We've not managed to get the results. We've had a couple of phases in the season where it looks like we've turned a corner. We've got some positive results in tough fixtures as well, which spring to mind, and we've not managed to capitalise on them at all, which has obviously been really disappointing. And we've not managed to get a run together where we've picked up enough points consecutively.
Is that the real frustration? I'm sure when you look around the dressing room, you've clearly got players with ability in there, and you've had those patches in the season when you've beaten the likes of Fleetwood, Millwall away at Bolton.
Yes, Bolton. I think we've had some good matches this season and good games and good results. But like I said, they've been too infrequent. We have got ability in the change room. We've got a lot of young players that hopefully will go on and have good careers. But as a group this year, it's not been up to the standard that's been required. We've not, like I said, got the results that we needed. So yeah, there's talent, but as a team, we've certainly underachieved this year, which is obviously disappointing.
How much of a negative impact, if at all, did the period over the winter have when Tim Sherwood was in charge for a bit, back to Luke Williams? I mean, did that disrupt the season at all?
I can only speak for myself really, and it didn't have any effect on me. I put the Swindon shirt on and tried to do my best, and you know, whatever was going on didn't affect me. We had the chance for Tim to come in and give us, you know, another set of eyes and such experience in the game. You know, I didn't look at it as a negative at all, and still don't. You know, his career he's had and the roles he's had in the game. You have to respect his experience and what he could bring to the table. Now, it's not worked out, so you can always look at it and try and point fingers, but the management here have always been great for me. They try and help the players, they try to do everything properly, and you know, you have to look at yourself as a player and think, you know, have I done enough? Can you do more? And that's where you need to be a man as a player and look in the mirror and, you know, try and get more at yourself rather than, you know, looking at things off the pitch or other circumstances and blaming them.
Big season for you back in the Football League. How will you look back at it now? Have you progressed as a player? Are there positives that you can take?
I look at it overall as obviously a failure, and I'm a harsh critic on myself. You know, I watch my games a lot and try to do better. But there have been positives for me. You know, there's been periods of the season where I felt sharp and have played well. And obviously, making my league debut, I think I've played. Although off the bench, I've made more appearances than anyone this season. You know, I've not been injured, so there are positives for me. Back in full-time football's obviously been massive for me and something that I strive to in non-league for a while. So yeah, that's a highlight for me, making my league debut against Coventry this season. But yeah, you know, you look at it at the end of the day and you got relegated, so you can't be proud of that.
Any regrets in your decision making to choose Swindon Town to be the club to bring you back into the Football League?
Nah, no regrets at all. It's a good club. It's just needs to get back in the right direction. You know, I think you can look through any club for its history, and there's ups and downs, there's promotions, there's relegations. It's just a cycle of football, and it's not pretty, it's not nice. And of course, as players and staff and as supporters, you want to be on that upwards curve the whole time. But it just doesn't happen like that sometimes. I've enjoyed my season here despite the results. There's a lot of good people at the club trying to do good things, and it's just important now that, in my opinion, we use relegation as a chance to regroup in League Two, and sort of change the mentality, and try and turn it into a winning dressing room and a winning club. Because you have seen in the past, you look at teams like Bournemouth and teams that have gone back-to-back promotions and have done very well, and they're not massive clubs. They've not got a massive infrastructure. So no regrets for myself to join. Obviously, I'd like to have had a more successful first season, but I can still turn it around and have a good career.
What do you think are the fundamental things that might have to change in the summer to make you start the season next year with a more solid base?
I'm not sure what the fundamentals would be. I think because of the situation in the change room, there's going to be a big turnaround in players. So it will be important that we get the group together and try and instill a winning mentality in the group. Try and lead it, to a successful season. Because although it's not good when you lose players, sometimes it can freshen things up, and sometimes it can give a bit of energy to the club. It's important for myself still being here that there's no hangover from the relegation. As far as I'm concerned, you regroup in the summer, you get in the gym, you work hard, and you come back clean slate and go again and try and do your best, the next season. So it'll be up to players like myself that will still be at the club to try and get the group of players ready for League Two, and like I said, try and change the mentality a little bit so we can get wins and hopefully build on them, rather than like I said earlier, not get those consecutive results that you need.
Still one more game to go. Do you look at that as an opportunity to put down an early marker for next season, considering you're one of the few that's going to be at the football club?
I think for us as a group, it's just about pride really on Sunday. We need to go out there and do the shirt justice and try and put in a performance. There'll be supporters that travel that deserve a performance. There'll be certain players probably playing their last game for the club, which I'm sure want to do well. So we've got a bit of a mixture in the changing room that everyone wants to do well for different reasons. Like myself, of course, I want to try and do well for my own pride and look back on at the end of the season and say it'd be good to finish on a win, and give something back to the supporters, because it won't change relegation. I'm completely aware of that, and that's done. But you don't want to go out there just for the sake of it on Sunday. You're a professional for a reason, so you have to go out there and try and do a professional job.
There's clearly a lot going on at Charlton at the moment. What kind of Sunday afternoon are you anticipating?
I've got no idea, to be honest. I don't really know much of the situation. Obviously, we had Nicky Josie here who sort of drip fed little bits and bobs and said a few things about the club, but it's not my concern really. I just try and go out there and hopefully get a result and do the best I can.
And just finally, I presume the most high profile of the possible departures is going to be the captain. It looked like he was saying goodbye at the end of the Scunthorpe game. From your point of view, what's it been like putting on a Swindon shirt alongside him?
He's a great bloke. He's been a good captain. He's a very good player, and he deserves success whatever he chooses to do. Someone I get on very well with. I've got a lot of respect for him. I've got a lot of time for him, and yeah, he's important to the club. He's important to the changing room, and it hurt him to get relegated. It was not nice to see as a teammate. You feel like you've let him down, as well as obviously other people at the club. You feel like you'd have let them down. But yeah, he's been a real positive influence for me this season, and it's been a pleasure to be alongside him in the changing room.
Cheers, Johnny. Hope you get a win Sunday.